One. Okay, we are live. What's up, guys? Bear with me. I gotta get this going over here. Mason, entertain him for a minute.
I don't know. I can't sing, so I'm not really good with that.
What are you good at other than riding?
All sports. Basketball, golf. Golf. No one's really good at golf.
I've never gone golfing with you.
Yeah, golf sucks. It's fun, but no one's really good at it. But yeah, everything else besides.
I'm bad at golf. Now they're jumping on.
Is it working?
It's a little delayed for our screen, but it's up and going. So
Good.
yeah. What's up, guys? So this is Moto Monday 26. I've done this 26 times. It's crazy. It feels like I literally just started. I've been struggling with technical difficulties since day one, and today I'm literally back to square one. Other than I have chairs. Sponsored by U of MX.
Comfy chairs.
Yeah, we have comfy chairs, and we have a banner, and we have a logo. Other than that, this is going to be one of the least technically advanced Moto Mondays you're ever going to see, because I have almost all my cameras down, a phone down, audio down. It's been one of those days where everything I touch electronically is breaking. So, sorry guys, but at least I got a cool guest.
Kind of. Semi.
I got a superstar in the house.
You have to say that because I'm your cousin.
Well, I was going to actually throw that in at the end. You kind of ruined it for everyone, although the last name kind of gives it away.
It does.
I have national number 767, Mason Wharton, in the house.
Kind of high, but it's a good number.
It's a good number.
Great number.
Oh, hey, Savannah's watching. She's all excited.
What's up?
So, I was supposed to have Reese, but Reese had to work today, and he actually works about 2.5 hours from here.
Oh, okay.
So, he's way up north. Actually, Grace Harbor. Right by Grace Harbor.
Okay. I've never been there, though.
You've never
been there? No. I spend half my time in California. When I come here, it's usually Grand Rapids or Riverdale.
Dude, I literally just got back from Wharton. Wharton does me dirty.
Like,
you were too young to
like
remember.
riding or
Right.
or prep?
I don't know. I think it's just a personal thing, like a personal problem of mine. You were probably too young to remember. I think you were on 65s, maybe just moving up to 85s. But we were all out there, and I was on a Husaberg.
I have no clue what that is.
Yeah.
I remember gas.
Weirder Husabergs.
Oh, okay.
I went over a step up out there, and I don't remember hitting it. I remember waking up on the ground. Apparently, I cross-threaded. I do know I had no pants on.
Wow. From you or just medics taking them off?
There was no medics there.
Oh, so yeah.
So what happens? I cross-threaded. I clipped my front tire on the step up on the very tip of where it's supposed to land.
Yeah.
And I somehow flipped over the bars, and I hooked the seat of my pants onto the handlebars, shredded it down to my boots.
Okay.
So I had no pants on other than my broken off lever, and it hooked a giant, just chunk of my pants on it. Other than that, they just literally split in half like a banana.
Dang.
And all I know is it's like January. I'm waking up
freezing.
cold as can be. I'm waking up on the track. There's people all around me. I have no pants on. Unlike Mike Smith, I do wear boxers, so at least I had that going.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a rough day.
Yeah, I remember. Usually, it seems like every time I go there, once in a while, it's either really good or really bad. And then half the time it's snowing. So I've been there where it's been snowing. You wake up. My parents were just talking about this a couple days ago. We'd wake up in the motorhome back in the day, and it'd be snowing, and then all of a sudden it was gone in like 2 hours. On one occasion.
It is kind of weird out there. It's a totally different weather cycle. I literally just got back last night from over there, and it was nice and clear and sunny skies, and then suddenly we have 2 inches of snow. Like, what? What?
It's crazy. But the track is a good track.
Hey, what's up, Scott? What's up, Sarah? What's up, Amber? People logging on, starting to watch. Actually, a few of the East Side boys watching right now. Spangle. Yeah. Getting a few more. Everyone logging on. Okay, so I'll quit reading that for a minute. So Mason, I know who you are, obviously.
But act like you don't.
We are cousins.
Yes.
Even though we go big stretches without talking, I just simply have to follow you on Instagram and see what you're doing.
Thank you.
Like, oh, hey, Mason's racing again. Oh, he crashed again.
You don't have to say that.
Sorry.
It's all good.
Oh, he's racing another race that I'll probably never race. Although I will say,
You do need to make California sometime, though.
I would really like to make a California trip this year. Or this next 6 months.
Yeah.
And I will say, so you're obviously the fastest one in the family. It's probably going to stay that way, but I do have a small goal. I want to race a Canadian National. That I'm
Super fun.
working for at Kamloops.
Kamloops
Looks awesome.
Okay, here's the thing. Kamloops, I get there and it was like, you pull up, you got a farmer here, and you're like, where is this track? And then you look to the right and it's just like a grass field. Half of it is 10 feet tall, and then right in the middle is the track. Amazing dirt. Kind of not good prep by the people, but amazing dirt and a great race. And it's not that far. What was it, like 7 hours?
Yeah, that's the cool thing for us. It's not that far.
It's not that far. So Kamloops, that could be a track for you to race. When I raced it, it was 112. So that was if the Washington boys don't train for it, you will die halfway through the moto.
Okay, well, I'm working on it. I got to get a little faster.
The motos are only 25 minutes long, so.
Oh, I'm down for that.
So 25 minutes compared to 30-ish, it's a big difference. But Kamloops is a great track.
I'm down for shorter motos.
Yes.
Okay. You know, it wasn't until the past couple years that honestly about the past year, that I was even able to do local motos decent again. Because there was a big stretch in my life where a PIR moto would kill me.
You get down and be like, oh,
yeah,
30 minutes, no, just 6 laps.
Yeah, 5-6 laps would kill me at PIR. It has taken me right up. Yeah, most of my 20s was a rough go for me for that. It's just now that I'm like, okay, that's fine, I can do that.
Hey, sometimes PIR sprints could be, if you're battling with someone, 6 to 7 laps could be an all-out battle because you forget to breathe. If you're battling with someone, you don't get a chance. If you're battling with someone, you got to focus on the inside to outside, and the momentum, you don't breathe, which is a lot of people forget to, and yeah, you'll get destroyed tire-wise.
Yeah, true. That is unique. It is funny how such little time at PIR can wear you out so much. You just get no chance at a break.
Yeah, it's like Supercross.
Especially if you're battling. Yeah,
well, because
I say that as I've never ridden Supercross, but
it's really jumpy and a lot of fast guys battling each other. A lot of fast guys battling and really jumpy. It doesn't leave room for the rider to think about when he lands, it needs to breathe, and in the air you need to breathe. You're always focusing about who's by you, and it's hard to realize, but you forget to breathe. You only realize that when you're done riding, and then it's too late. You got arm pump and you're dead. So it's interesting. It's like Supercross.
Yeah, just no chance at a break. Washougal, actually, I like. There's a few sections of the track I know that okay, I catch my breath there. Mountain View, that's why I love it. Is there's literally jumps where I can like have a lunch break in the air, and then get back going again.
Yeah, you know? Big jumps are good. You go in the air, you take a breath, maybe open up your fingers a little bit. You know, get that little blood, that blood flow.
You do that little like
so you don't get you get off the track like open the hands a little bit, take a breath, lands, and lunch break.
Yes, there's a few jumps at Mountain View where I literally like adjust my pants or check my goggles or something over. Okay, back to racing.
Sometimes you just have to pull a tear off, even if you don't have tear offs. Just look cool.
Just to look cool.
Just look cool.
Actually, I will say it. The last Mountain View practice, which was the last one of the year, nobody cares, but I got heel clickers back. Made my day.
Like over it?
Yeah, legit heel clickers. Yeah.
Wow, I've never done that.
Although let's be real, they're toe clickers because I can touch the toes because I can flex the toes, but I stop at like 6 inches, and that's all the flex.
Because the heel, you need to like basically come do this all the way. That's hard.
It's some flexibility.
That's really hard.
Shout out to Austin Johnson. Never done yoga a day in his life. He does not do any stretches, to the best to my knowledge. And I told him he could do heel clickers. Next thing you know, he's doing heel clickers because we had a 1-footer contest at Mountain View.
Yeah.
And he won. And we got a picture of it. He did a 1-footer and he broke his visor.
Because he came all the way up with his feet?
All the way up with his foot, and you can see his visor just bent like this.
Ooh.
And that's when I was like, hey bro, I think you can do heel clickers. Sure enough, he can heel clicker like it's nothing. I don't understand. I'm not that flexible.
I want to do knack.
Ooh, I've never actually.
Just that cool old, Jerry McGrath.
Retro, old school.
Yeah, I'm afraid though, if once I start bringing one of the legs over, the other leg is just gonna like fall off the foot peg. Because you bring it all the way around the seats. I feel like
that's a legit concern.
I feel like I won't be able to get it back over, so I just never try it. If I had a foam pit, I'd try it, but who has a foam pit?
Strong.
Yeah, let's go over where he's at.
Do you know? I don't know if you remember when you were like 5 years old. You ran 199, bro.
Yeah. Well, I wanted to change my name to Travis.
You were a Travis
He was
fan.
my idol. The number is still with me today, but yeah, Travis, he's the man. I just wish someone had a foam pit so I could try a knack or no footer, just something.
I thought it'd be cool to backflip something. I've officially decided it's just not for me. Have you ever tried to backflip anything?
No, I've never tried.
Not trampoline.
On trampoline.
I meant
I landed
actually riding something.
No, I landed on my neck on the trampoline. I called it quits. If I was to backflip, I would actually do it in a pond. I would do it going into a pond. Off for a little ramp, off like a bicycle, I would try it. But I just don't have, I guess I could build a ramp, but I would actually try it into a pond. Because it's a little easier.
I tried it on a scooter.
Off a ramp, or like at a park.
Yep.
Yeah, no.
You know how that went? I got upside down, like,
And
okay,
you
I'm
fell.
lost,
And
I'm
you
confused,
fell.
and I dropped.
Oh.
And then I tried it so many times, and I thought a flare would be a lot better. So you just get the arc, just get a nice tight arc. As soon as I start going upside down, I get confused, I panic, I don't know where I'm going, I'm on my face. I give up, a backflip. I would still like one day to land the backflip, but I get confused. These guys who throw the double backflips and stuff, like props to you. I sponsor a guy in a scooter who double backflips over mega ramps.
I don't even know how you ride a scooter.
Well,
That's hard.
We don't need to talk about the scooter much. We can move on. We can talk about me fighting. Let's not talk about how I used to ride scooters all the time.
But yeah, backflips are hard. I've seen people like they just get a big pile of mulch,
Yeah.
and they just go fail after fail after fail. I feel like after like one or two fails, you might land on your neck, and then that's it. You can snap your neck. Or if you go up and you bail, the bike will just land right on top of you. So that's
legit concern.
That's the hardest thing. It's that commitment. So then you go up for it, and you over-rotate, and you end up doing like two backflips. You only want to do one. It's just
not
overall just sounds stupid, but something I want to do.
Yeah. Well, maybe one day if anyone's watching and has a foam pit or a giant mulch pile, let us know. Joey Lancaster backflips pit bikes like they're nothing.
I think I've seen that.
He finds like little sections in the like trail riding, and he.
I'm just like, I can't believe some people on trials bikes. Yeah, trials bike.
What are freaks?
Yeah, but they'll backflip up like a tree.
Oh yeah.
Here's a tree, they'll just go right up to it and then backflip.
Yeah.
Craziest thing.
Yeah. Not okay.
And they also balance on the rear wheel for like 10 minutes, though.
Yeah, they're straight freaks. I'm going to do this whole introduction of who you are, and we're getting all onto scooters and backflips and Canada, eh? Let's go on. Okay, so let's go back to square one.
Mm-hmm.
So you are my cousin.
Yes.
We're cheating a little getting on here today, but whatever. I gotta admit I have some interesting cousins.
Okay.
Jesse, obviously.
Yeah.
Jesse's already been on, former guest.
Mm-hmm.
WMX pro racer, photographer, now playing the mom role.
Yeah.
I have another cousin where we weren't going to talk about too much, who was Miss Arenacross for a few years.
Mm-hmm.
And then I have you, the fast guy in the family. So you've been racing since 50s.
Yeah, 6 to 7, probably 5, 6, 7.
7.
Yeah.
And how old are you now?
22.
22. So you've been racing a while.
Been racing a while. Yeah.
Well, from back in the day, my dad's bike shop, Moto Outfitters on the Pellini.
Oh man, I still got the Pellini banner in my room.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Pellinis were people. I feel like people that rode Pellinis were awesome because everyone rode Cobras.
To this day, Cobra.
If you ride a Pellini, you're just awesome. But yeah, Pellinis, those were the days.
So you start off, so when you were racing 50s, you had like Max Harris.
Mm-hmm.
You had, did you race Connor Mitchell?
Connor Mitchell, yes. I remember racing him.
I rode with him recently.
Dang.
At Mountain View. I'm all like following this dude on a Suzuki, and like there's two guys in actual case it's been a little bit, but like two guys in the Suzuki.
Yeah.
I'm looking like they both say Mitchell. I'm like, no way.
Yeah, that's been a while. Yeah, I remember Max Harris, Connor Mitchell, Colton Scott.
Colton Scott.
He was fast.
Didn't you race Aaron Blaine too?
Probably. I know Colton Scott was 65s, Max 65s, and then
I know 65s you had to race Bashilia.
Yeah, and 85s, and then I forget his first name, but Aldrich. He was fast back in the 85 days.
Aldridge?
No, not Aldridge. Aldrich.
I know Aldridge.
And
He's gonna be a future Moto Monday guest.
okay, but yeah, back in the day, it seemed like 50s, 65s, 85s. Those were the prime racing days here locally.
Oh, that was like at the peak. Didn't you race Brad Frace too?
Older.
He was just like 2-3 years
on like
older than
250s
you?
I raced, but I don't think little bikes.
I feel like when you got into 65s was when he was really going for it.
Okay.
He kind of had his like.
But I remember racing in PIR with Chris Aldridge, Matt Pachelia. I remember those were some good old days. Then they moved to Texas and stuff like that, and boom.
Your group of core guys, there's some fast dudes
Oh,
that
yeah.
like moved up and like
Yeah.
look at where they are now. Like you came from a fast group.
Yeah, it was every different Thursday from 50s to 85s. You could have a different winner at PIR. It was like intense.
And I tell people now, like, they're all my kids. It's like, it wasn't that long ago. Like, you got to understand some of these guys, like, with the things you guys did on 50s. Remember
The pro double on like 65 or 50s.
65s.
I remember Connor Mitchell, was it on 50 he did the pro double?
He did the pro double on 50.
I remember, like, yeah, people were pretty stupid. I feel like there was a lot of fast guys, and one kid, say Connor Mitchell, did the pro double, and then everybody was like,
Then it hit
we gotta do that.
all did it.
we have to do that if we want to beat them. So
Yeah.
it was, everyone had to match everyone else, and that's how everyone got fast, and it was great racing.
I haven't seen that in quite some time, but when you were coming up through minis, there was a chunk of guys, and you all fed off of each other. Man, to this day, okay, if we were to take our top 50 riders right now and pit them against you guys would have destroyed them. I'm so sorry to everyone who's a 50 parent, but like, seriously, you guys didn't watch these guys huck the things that they hucked, the things that they did. We're not seeing that level of intensity, and I think that you like all did that to each other because you all pushed each other.
Yeah, it was, everyone wanted to beat each other.
Remember
so that
it's a step down at PA. It was called the bump way back in the day. Right before
my family calls it like a different jump, but is it the one where you step down then the rhythm?
No, it's the
Or
step
is it the one
down
before
on
the
left
gate jump?
in the gate jump.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
That step down. You
Yeah.
hucked that on your 50.
Yeah, but it used to be a lot bigger.
It was, which is even crazy because no 50s hit that now.
Nah, because now it's like you do the takeoff and it's a little rounded. I feel like it was an actual double back in the day.
Yeah, it was pretty big, and you hucked it on your 50.
Yeah, it was a good time.
We don't no 50 rider jumps that.
Well,
Like
there's no suspension. But apparently us idiots decided to do it.
you guys just did it. You came up, hey, what's up, Abrigo? Long time no talk. Yeah, you guys just hucked it. There was just this fast core group of dudes moving through the ranks that it was impressive.
Yeah, good
It was
times.
impressive.
Good memories.
So you moved up through the mini ranks. You went out. You raced. How much? I don't remember you really racing the juniors much.
Big bike junior.
Yeah, big bike junior.
Yeah, I remember. I went to PIR and I did my 250 beginner race, and I won it. And the very next week I went to junior. So we realized that real quick. Did junior for a little bit, and then intermediate.
Did you intermediate for a while and really started to get a groove? And,
Yeah.
You went pro?
Yeah, I didn't start taking it real serious until maybe 2014. I remember because my first pro race was Amsoil Arenacross. My first pro race was an Amsoil Arenacross, trying to get my pro license in Colorado, Denver, Colorado.
How'd that go for you?
I got my first point. I made it qualified, made it to the main. I don't know what I did, but So I didn't start taking it serious until 14. First pro race was Arenacross, and from there just went on.
Ryan Lau Watcher, what's up, dude? Lance Smale, how's it going, man? So you got a point your first pro race.
Yeah, I remember. I remember watching. So I think that was like 30 into the night show. 'Cause every year it seems like how you get your point changes for Amsoil Arenacross. But I remember you got to get top 30 at a qualifying during the day. And so I do my first practice, and I do my second. I think there was only 2 or 3 practices. I get done because I'm in like Group B out of like A, B, C, and then I'm looking on the big screen. I see my name in like 25th, and then I see it get dropped to like 27th. And me and my mom were right here watching it, and we're just like, and I'm in my jersey. I just got done riding, and I'm just antsy. I'm looking at it, and it's getting bump, and it was 29th after practice was all done. And so made it 29th, got my point, made the heat race, went to the main, got I think 7th in the main out of, I think it's only 15 because it's like 7-7, a couple guys, double gate. So, but Arenacross, that was, oh man, that was tough because it's so tight. So tight.
What, in your opinion, what's the difference between Arenacross and Supercross racing?
Well, when I was training for Arenacross, I would train on a Supercross track.
Okay.
So I would be training, I don't know, 40, 50-second lap times on a Supercross track. Tracks 2 to 3 bikes wide and multiple rhythms, multiple lanes. I went to Colorado, the first Arenacross, and it was whoops, rhythm, finish line. That was it. And if you had 2 guys side by side, they were kissing elbows. So super skinny, super small. It was, you hit the whoops, which were stupid big. You took a left, and it was either triple double, double triple, or like step on, step off. But then an immediate right, and then a finish line. So it was just super small. From training on a big track to going to a small track, it felt like...
Probably a lot of throwing elbows.
Oh yeah, it was...
Like cutting people off.
In practice, it was a little, everyone kind of... It was hard in practice because you're trying to get a fast lap, and if someone went down the whoops, you couldn't get your fast lap. So that was really hard because if someone went down the whoops, it basically took out the whole... They took out the whole whoops because they're only this wide. And so, yeah, it was really tough. I found myself in like Tacoma, Arenacross in 14, being like, in the heat race, you had to go, they took 7 in the main, and I was like 15th on the start, and I saw obviously more than 6 guys in front of me, so I knew I wasn't going to make it to the main, and you had to take people out. It hurts people's feelings, but you have to do it. If you want to make it to the main, the person in front of you has to go down in the next corner, so you have to be aggressive. And I'm not a really aggressive guy, but that really helps because you only have...
I'm down for that. I'm cool.
You only have like, I don't know, 6 laps. So yeah, that was fun. And Supercross is a lot better just because it's bigger and wider. But Arenacross teaches you some things: how to hit the whoops, how to be aggressive, and I think that's about it.
So I did the Tacoma Arenacross last year for amateur days.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I went and watched, and I don't think you raced that one. So
no, I didn't race it. I walked.
First off, it was muddy.
My dad rode it.
Not okay. Not okay. You should not have an indoor mud race.
Nah.
There was ruts to my foot pegs
Okay.
and some jumps.
I remember last year I did go. I saw the pro race, and the ruts were massive. Dude.
That was when Devin Harriman bailed through the air, just did the rolling down the windows, rolled off a truck, and just stood up. I'm like, why are you not dead? I don't understand.
I remember watching that practice. Devin Harriman and Cody Herzog.
And Max Harris. All got hurt.
It was left, triple, and I did track walk, and usually Arenacross has all small jumps, but I remember when I raced the Tacoma race back in 14, it was an actual like Supercross track. They had like 5 lanes, and the triple was an actual like 65, 75 foot triple. And these 2 triples in last year's Arenacross were massive. The only problem was the dirt was super soft. So 2 laps in, left to right was foot peg deep ruts, and I saw Herzog, Harriman, and Harris
The same section, all riders.
You go up to it, they either drag the foot peg so they get, the front wheel dives and they bail, or they either case it, and it was scary to watch. Pretty stupid. So my dad told me it was muddy when he rode amateur day. The dirt was just...
It was weird. So I rode amateur day, and it also sketched me out because normally they tame all the stuff down for amateurs.
Yeah.
Which I'm cool with. Okay, so they really tamed down the finish line.
Yeah.
They messed with the triple section a bit and tamed it.
Was it like a double, single or something?
It was no. All they did was really knock it down. They left all the jumps. All they did was just roll them a little.
Yeah, rounded it.
But they left the section for that. Did not change it, and they did not hit the whoops at all.
Wasn't the section like a on-off and like table? I remember.
It was the first one was really weird. It was like a double, and only a couple of top pros were able to triple because it really shouldn't have been triple. Some guys were.
Yeah.
There's a total of 8, so you could go like triple, double.
Yeah, because I remember
most people went double, triple.
There's a big.
It was really weird. It was an odd timing. They left the really weird timing section unchanged, and they left the whoops unchanged. So I got to hit true Arenacross whoops as a old amateur, and. Oh, those things were not, especially in the mud.
Yeah.
So now that they're rutted,
they're like this.
They're all misshapen like this. And the first time through them, the first few looked good, and I'm like, whoops are normally my thing. I just charge. My first lap in practice, I just charge, and then after about 5 in, like, oh dear God, this is going bad. Wow. Yeah. So that was a rough night. I actually almost won until I flipped over the bars in the lead and had to, I did one of those like stood it up and then over the bars I jump off and then I run till I get into the end of the track and I trip and I fall and I roll and I embarrass myself.
I did that in Arenacross, but my mom has a photo. I dropped the front and I went to bail off, but when I bailed off to the left, so the bike wouldn't hit me, and some guy came behind me and literally scooped me up. I'm sitting on his front number plate and front fender, and I'm literally sitting like on his bike. This is still photo. It's the funniest thing ever. But yeah, my dad, he told me he rode those Arenacross whoops, and he told me they never touched him, and he was scared. He's like, "How do you hit these?" So I guess
that's exactly what I was thinking. Is like, so this is what they're hitting. Now I've walked Arenacross whoops before because I used to sponsor Team Faith.
Yeah.
So I hit a few of the events and I supported them, and they totally got me the hookup and I'd get a hangout. I was actually a photographer for one events. I've walked many Arenacross tracks, but riding them is still a different level, and it is phone booth. And I'm all down for takeouts though.
Yeah.
Actually, as of like a half dozen people commented, like it sounds like Justin's kind of racing. It's like tight racing, and I get to just slam everyone. Because the cool thing about when I'm racing, I'm usually the biggest guy, so it helps.
Mm-hmm.
The whoops. I like to think I'm decent at the whoops, but those whoops scared the snot out of me.
Hey, everyone likes to think they're decent, but until you come around the corner and then you see like 15 of them, if you don't commit by the corner, or you'll wreck. And then halfway through, if you are scared, you'll still wreck. You got to go through, squeeze the legs, keep the same throttle, and just get through them.
What's up, Brian? Yeah. Well, that particular night, every single one was different. I'm sure you guys hit that all the time. I wasn't ready for it. I committed several times, just full commit, even knowing that, and I still didn't get through them properly. Yeah. I charged in, and next thing you know, I'm sitting on the gas tank. I'm never having kids, by the way. Like, we cured that one time through those whoops. I'm never having kids. It's impossible at this point. I hit my gas tank so hard at the last 2 whoops, it just rode that front tire like... Man, is this necessary?
Yeah, no, the Arenacross whoops are crazy. I remember 2 scenarios in Kansas City, Arenacross. There was like sticks in the dirt, like just a big tree branch, and so you go through the whoops, and usually it's all right if you hit a rut in the whoops because it'll just like kind of move away. But there was a stick in this one whoop, like all the way across. So when you would hit it, everyone would bounce differently, and it wouldn't move. It was like hitting a tree roof. You would just go crazy, and then what was it? It was Fresno. They were super hard pack, but then for some reason they got perfectly like cupped ruts. And one time I went through, and I didn't go right in the middle, and the front landed on the side, and just took the front out. Just crazy. Because you came around a corner, and it was just like a rut, which was usually easy, because you kind of just went like, you didn't have to really hit whoops. And I just dropped it on the side, and out with the front wheel. So every single weekend, Arenacross whoops were different. Big, small ruts. You could only double through them sometimes, going bliss. It was.
So would you say Arenacross is a little sketchier than Supercross?
Whoops.
Mostly the whoops?
Most of the whoops, and then mostly, also, my mom has on video, I'm coming around the whoops, taking a left, and I'm about to hit a triple, but some guy, right, the lane after, hits the finish line, cases the finish line, and bounces into my lane going backwards. So I hit the whoops, we're about to take a left, so you go for a triple, he cases the finish line, and on the video it looks like we're just going to head on. And I hit my brakes and end up casing the triple because I see him coming, and we pass each other. So it being really tight and the whoops are probably the hardest and sketchiest things about it.
So you've raced both Arenacross and Supercross.
Mm-hmm.
You've done outdoor nationals. Yeah. You've also gotten hurt a few times.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just curious, what is your count right now for broken bones? It's like you seem like one of those people when you do crash, you crash epically.
Yeah, I've had some good ones. Yeah. Well, I've done.
What's your stats? Like broken bones, surgeries?
Yeah, I've done both ankles 3 times. Kind of semi-dislocated hip, semi-dislocated hip, dislocated elbow, couple shoulders, couple
You
surgeries.
dislocated an elbow too?
Yeah, it was at PIR on a 50. Yeah, so dislocated the elbow.
Okay, so you're a kid.
Yeah, I was a kid.
So I did it my year. I had a doctor who had, in her entire time at the hospital, never seen an adult do it. But she told me the kids do it.
Oh, I guess.
I'm the weird adult that had it happen. But
Yeah.
I guess it does happen more with kids because you're more flexible.
I guess growing the joints are trying. I don't know, but yeah. So a lot of broken wrists, about 4 each, and then ribs and
Collarbones,
and scapulas and stuff like that. Everything I think minus the neck and back and femur. So that's a good.
Let's not do it. Did
count.
one of your sisters break her femur twice?
I don't know about twice, but I know Katie broke her femur.
I know once was at a soccer game.
Yeah, she broke her femur and
Not even Moto.
once.
It was,
On soccer.
It was only once. I thought she did it twice.
It was in practice. I don't know if she did it twice, but I know she did it in practice at a soccer practice.
You guys are injury prone. I know Jessie broke her collarbone falling out of bed.
Jessie broke her
Your
collarbone.
sister broke her collarbone.
Out of a bunk bed, she doesn't like, we mess around a lot, but she seems to break her collarbone just tipping over. Like, just tips over on the bike, breaks it. But so do I, so I can't. I don't have a lot of room to talk.
Hey, knock on wood, I have not broken my collarbone. As a motocrosser, that's impressive.
I didn't, well, I always knew Jessie broke her collarbone because she broke like 8, I think. So going into last year was the first collarbone I broke, and I didn't know I broke it. It was at Oakland Supercross. I go through the whoops, the whoops, and I drop the front wheel, go over the bars, put my hands out, and I wreck.
She's mad that we're bringing this up.
Jessie?
Yes.
Oh yeah. No, she is at Warren Rapids. She goes up a little jump. I think in first gear, probably talking to one of her friends. It looks over, tips over, and just snap. There's a collarbone. It was the funniest thing ever. But I break my collarbone in Oakland Supercross. I think it was last year, and I didn't know it was broken. So I get off the track. One of the flaggers pushes my bike, and I'm doing one of these. I'm like, oh, my shoulder really hurts, And then I hop on my bike, I kick it a couple times, and then the 4th kick in, I kick and I hear something click. I'm like, oh, that was weird. It was up here. I go to feel it like nothing's there because I have a shoulder brace and a chest protector. So I take my glove off and I try to feel under the brace and I feel a bump. I'm like, oh, I guess I broke my collarbone, and it was poking.
From what?
Yeah.
Starting your bike.
Well, it was broken when I wrecked.
Okay.
But the shoulder brace and the chest protector was holding it down.
Oh,
And I was doing this, I'm like, oh, I feel great, you know? Like, nothing's broken.
Oh.
And then for some reason, the kicking must have, like, popped it up. And it, like, snaps. And then I'm like, oh. And then I walked off. I just walked straight to the tunnel, to the mechanics, and, like, my dad's like, what are you doing? I'm like, it's broken. Katie's cell was, like, straight up here. So that was, yeah. They're not bad. I was back on the bike after surgery in, like, 2 weeks.
Wow.
So, they're not really bad.
Man, I have been pretty lucky. I've not. My only problem is my hands. I've broken every finger, and I know they're not going to catch the sound, but.
Yeah, no.
I've broken all the bones in my wrists, up into my finger. I've broken every finger I have. You can see the scar here. I've broken all the way down into here. Like, so I've lost count of how many bones in my hands I've broken.
I mean, you can see my pinky. My bone compound fractured.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so I dislocated my shoulder at the anniversary race at PIR last year. I'm going through the whoops, and I just, at the first lap in the heat race, and I was like top 5 star or something, and so there's a lot of guys in the heat race, the anniversary race, and I just ragged all the whoops. Luckily, I don't know how no one hits me, but I dislocated my shoulder.
Oh, I actually witnessed this, okay.
And apparently I compound fractured my pinky. But all the pain was in my shoulder, and my dad's like, does anything else hurt? I'm like, kind of my pinky. and he must have done something because there was a massive hole right there, and you can see the scar, and it's kind of fat.
Yeah, it is fat, yeah.
And I think he just popped it in. And all the fingers, fingers, you break those super easy.
Oh, they commented they can hear my wrist.
Oh, yeah.
It is loud. That's when you crash on a pit bike and you land with your hands out. It just literally was a ripple effect and broke stuff all throughout my hand. But that's pretty much all I've broken.
Just wrists?
Couple ribs from fighting.
Yeah.
A couple toes from pit biking.
Yeah.
That's it.
Wow.
But I've broken countless bones. My hands are so jacked up. So many broken bones from tips to just the wrist. But everything else has been pretty much fine.
I wish I could say that. But it's
But
been
you
a
can
while.
use your hands for a lot.
Yeah.
Think about it. I got to use my hands for a lot. I like to type all day long.
Especially, I start feeling it in the cold weather. Your fingers.
Oh, yeah.
Just that.
I still get this one. This one, when it gets cold, it starts twisting because they put me in a brace thing and they put it crooked.
Oh.
So it healed crooked.
Oh.
And I've tried to slowly over the years, like it's straight, but when it gets cold, it goes back to crooked. Like, you dumb pinky.
The middle finger, my left hand, I destroyed it one time playing basketball. And almost every morning, I guess the blood flow isn't good. And sometimes they'll all open except for that finger. So I'll have to bring this hand and I'll have to pop it open a couple times.
To work it in?
To work it in, and then it's good to go. But like every morning, they all go up, and then I gotta pop. So that doesn't sound good.
So we've been broken up. You a lot more than me though.
Mm-hmm.
But so what are you doing right now? So we've kind of went through you racing minis. You got your pro card in Arenacross. Was it ever awkward? Did you ever get on the podium with your sister?
No.
No?
No, because I won one LCQ. I remember I won an LCQ and I didn't, because I don't think they interview, like first, second, thirds, and they don't interview the first place LCQ guy, at least when I did it. They interviewed, I think they take 2 of the LCQ, and then the third guy gets like a couple $100 for a check for almost trying. So they interviewed that person. So I got a couple LCQ wins, so I never got an interview from her, but I'd always see her, if I qualified or did good in the main, she would always come up to me before announcing.
Was there ever times the other riders might have got a little jealous? You were talking to the Miss Arenacross, not knowing you were brother and sister.
Yeah. There was
some
always
weird moments.
Yeah, it was pretty weird, but I always just ended up telling, that's my sister, and so it was cool. But it was nice having her around.
I've had some weird moments when people didn't catch on.
Yeah.
I imagine as her brother, and you raced that series, it had to just be way more.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting. A lot of people focus on the racing, You go there to qualify, you go there to race, and that's kind of what everyone has, on their mind, the racing.
Well, yes.
There are a few guys that get jealous that the Miss Arenacross somehow comes with me every weekend. It's always like, hey, you want to take a photo? You want to do this? I'm like, yeah, sure. And they don't know she's my sister. So
I always wondered this is going back a little ways. I'm going to totally date myself here, but Heath Voss, who raced Supercross, his sister was Miss Supercross.
Okay.
Heath Voss had a habit of always winning the LCQ.
Okay.
And so Heath Voss, I don't know how many times, would then be on the podium with her, and I would always crack up. That kind of kills the moment when it's your sister, week in, week out, as the trophy girl next to you.
Yeah.
That would be a little weird. And Heath, for he was he was never the top guy, but he was always in the main. But sometimes it would take him longer. I don't know how many LCQs he won. But of course, LCQ, Supercross, you get on there, and week in, week out was like a joke between my dad. Oh, there's Heath and his sister again.
Yeah, it's good to be on the LCQ. You win, but it's not a real win, but you still get to go to the main.
But I feel like in Supercross, LCQs are getting more and more interest because, for one, they're brutal.
But there's a lot more faster guys. So obviously you can't take all the fast guys straight into the heat. Yeah. So there's going to be some guys that wreck, some guys that don't make it. But just because you take, I don't know how it is, what's it, 7-7 in the heat for 250 or something?
Yeah. Something like that.
Honestly, I don't know. I forget. But
you're the one who races Supercross.
There's a lot more fast guys.
Yeah.
Almost everyone that shows up to a Supercross event is fast because they show up. They're there and they're fast. So nowadays, LCQ is just as fun to watch, just as hard to make it in than a heat race. Just everyone's battling. Everyone wants it.
Best racing I have seen has been LCQ.
And it's only 4 laps.
Oh, and people are going all out, just no holds bars, just going for trying to make it to the main. Which actually, I got a couple questions to ask you. We're going to segue into real quick. I have an idea for Supercross and Motocross.
Okay.
So you're someone who's raced all of these. Tell me what you think. So I think this is coming from I'm more of a promoter than a racer. We took a little different life paths. I went slightly more promoter style. You went racer. So as a promoter and trying to think what people like to watch, this is my idea for outdoor nationals. So right now we have 250, 450, and we have 30-minute motos, 2 each, right?
Well, about 35 to 37 minutes.
Well, plus the 2, yeah.
Plus the 2 minutes, and yeah, it's not really 30 anymore. It's about 35 to 37.
So, tell me what you think of this. I think it would be more entertaining if we cut those motos down to 20 and we added a 125 class. The 125 simply because 125s are entertaining. If you screw up in a corner, you're screwed for the next section.
It is true.
There's huge consequences for mistakes.
Yeah.
And you have to ride that bike like a kamikaze to make it go fast. Throw it, it's also lighter, so you can whip it over remember Pastrana, literally, when he rode that thing, every jump he was whipping it sideways off. Because it's lightweight, you have to throw a lot of body motion into it. It's a very entertaining kind of racing. There's a lot of consequences. My idea to change the Nationals, which I feel like the Nationals are hurting right now, they should add a 125 class. And if you're a pro that's under 18, you have to race the 125. You can be any age. But if you're young, instead of throwing them right onto the full-blown 250, which we all know how fast a 250, well, not everyone. A full mod 250F is fast.
Oh, yeah.
Fast. If you're 16, I think you should cut your teeth on a 125. So if you're 18 or under, you have to race the 125, but there's no age limit. That's just a generic rule. So there, you add that class. I think that's entertaining. Plus, I think if we had 20-minute motos instead of 30, we'd have less guys trying to plan ahead on how to get through that 30-minute moto properly, and we'd probably see a little more bar banging. Because even a 20-minute moto still, for most Joe Blow non-paid pros, is a long moto.
Yeah.
I think we cut the time down a little bit, because it's like watching foot racing. What's more entertaining, a sprint or a marathon?
Yeah.
Marathon, you're planning ahead. There's so much. It is very intelligent, and there's a lot of planning to it. But I think sprints are more entertaining.
Yeah.
Even 20 minutes isn't a sprint. I consider 3
it's
laps
not,
a sprint.
It's not a sprint.
3 laps is a sprint.
Yeah. Well,
20 minutes is still a long time, but I think if we cut the time, that also gives us the same amount of TV time.
Yeah. Yeah, okay, well, because back in the day, they had the WMA series, so I guess you could substitute the 125s for the WMAs. I just this past year racing the Nationals until I got hurt, I had found a new love for the Nationals. I understand for privateers, not everyone can last 35 minutes. A motor probably can't last. You get to some East Coast races and you got the track, the heat, bike problems. People can't make their bike last for 35 minutes long.
Dwayne Brown says 125 is all day.
Okay. I'm not really a 125 guy, but
Okay.
but I understand they used to have the WMA series, so they could still do 125s.
We're keeping our shirts on, Sarah. Keep going.
But yeah, recently racing the whole series, not the whole series, I raced all leading up to Tennessee until I got hurt, but I found a new love for the Outdoor Nationals because I think to show up on a Saturday, to do both your practices, and it's not really 30 minutes, it's roughly about 35 to 37 minutes long. I think it takes a lot more dedication and heart to finish 2 35-minute motos. And it takes a lot more hard work, effort, and
totally. I would agree.
if you get people that don't work hard and don't do it, you'll start seeing them drop by the 20-minute mark. Now, I understand if you cut it to 20 minutes, obviously not a lot of people will, so you'll have a lot more closer racing. But I
From
think
a spectator, put yourself as just a Joe Blow spectator.
yeah, I'm putting myself as the rider. It's fun. I guess as a spectator, it might be boring to watch for 35 minutes. But
do you think it would make for intenser racing?
everything shorter events or intense. But I guess that's why maybe now they're starting to have the 125 race. What was it? They had like 4 125 races.
Three dream races. Yeah.
I guess that was maybe something to try. The constellation races, those are 4 laps, those are intense, but I don't know. I guess if you're a spectator and you go to a pro motocross, I think you're a diehard, so 35 minutes is not that boring to you.
The people there though, I think 90% of the people who show up at our local national, the Washougal National, are honest, don't race. 90% of the people are weekend warriors. Some of them are banshee guys. Some of them used to have a bike when they were a kid.
Yes.
And they are there to eat nachos, drink beer, and watch some bar banging.
We were just talking about this. My family, it was like Tennessee, Pennsylvania, West Virginia, Colorado. You show up to these tracks that just are in the middle of fields, and there's like one house 5 miles that way, one house 5 miles that way. Half the people there are just redneck, cool people that just want to show up because once a year
here's some loud motors.
There's a motorcycle racing around some fields. So I think they love what's going on, and so I don't know, but everything would be interesting if it was closer racing. But I think that's why they have Supercross and Motocross. Supercross is intense. It's been hurting lately.
Outdoors has been hurting. What would it take to make it big again? Because it used to be motocross was the leader.
Yeah.
But Supercross is destroying it. There's people with Supercross only contracts.
Supercross only contracts great. They pay more, but Supercross.
What's it gonna take to make motocross great again? There's my next T-shirt. But
I don't know. I just feel like Supercross and motocross. Supercross is intense and fast-paced racing, but a lot of people get hurt. If you wreck in a rhythm section or on the whoops, your chances of getting hurt are very high.
Roxon.
Moto, Roxon. Moto, same thing. You are going, I don't know, 60, 70 down stupid straightaways with ruts 10 feet deep, and the jumps are crazy. If you wreck there, you're going to get hurt too. But for some reason, motocross is dying. I don't know why. I love it, maybe more than Supercross. But
I also think they need to work on the TV scheduling.
First
moto's here, second moto's here.
Yeah.
Are you serious?
That is stupid.
That is dumb. They need to.
It is ran by different people,
It is different people.
So can't have the same thing for both sports.
Can I ask you another question? That's once again, this is me as a promoter asking you as a racer. Do we need the FIM involved in AMA racing? Have you ever been drug tested?
No.
Okay. Did you see Clayson? I believe it was Clayson got a
My parents just talked to me about this. I didn't know that it's FIM. Are they European?
Yes.
Okay, so they're people were like talking about why are we following like European rules? You know, we should have our own rules.
Yeah.
Because apparently, my mom told me, I don't know if it's right. She just told me that she read it off like all of the sports in Europe. If you fail a drug test, no matter what, if it's like race car or whatever the other sports they do, it's always 4 years. 4 years, no matter what. So with Supercross, it's no matter what, 4 years. So that sounds really stupid that we're following a European rule. That really sucks for him because I think I read he submitted the forms. It wasn't like he.
So it's for Adderall.
Yeah.
Which is not that performance enhancing. You can down some caffeine and get the exact same thing. But yeah, he submitted the forms. He didn't submit them properly. And are you reading some comments?
No, buddy, Luke Johnson. How you doing? It's been a while, but yeah, he's messing with me.
So basically, for those who don't know, this was what happened to Stewart. Now, because he's a big name, I feel like they let him off.
He was only a year or something.
2 years.
Because maybe it was
because I think he's got the name. Cade is not as big of a name.
You can say Cade's like a LCQ winner too. He's always in the LCQ for Supercross.
Yes.
He's always up there.
He's enough that some of us know his name, but he's not a star.
A lot of people know him.
Well, exact same drug that Stewart got busted for. He got a 4-year suspension. He submitted the forms. He didn't submit them properly. I don't know exactly the details on that. I don't care. I don't care. You can do all the Adderall in the world. It's not. Okay, have you done Adderall?
No.
I've done Adderall.
Okay.
I have ADD.
Okay.
I said this last week. I guess I don't care. My personal life is apparently not personal anymore. I do a bi-weekly podcast.
What do you
whatever you call this. Apparently, I don't have a personal life anymore. So I have ADHD actually. And so I can get Adderall easy. Mm-hmm. So I had a little prescription for a while and decided I don't need this in my life. But I've taken it, and as someone who's taken it, like I don't really see. I mean, yeah, maybe help you focus. All it does. Okay. Have you? So you've never taken it?
No. Have
you ever had a Red Bull?
I try not to drink energy drinks.
Okay.
Like really, I've probably never finished a Red Bull. I'll take a couple sips, but I've never finished a Red Bull.
I have a caffeine problem, as most people know too.
Yeah, you do. You really do.
However, if you do have ADHD, here's the weird thing: caffeine makes you focus.
Yeah.
Because caffeine is like a mild step into Adderall.
Okay.
So anyone who does maybe have slightly problems focusing, it's really weird. Still perks you up and everything, but caffeine makes you focus. Adderall is basically the same as chugging a Red Bull.
Okay.
Anyone who's had it can disagree. I've had it. I do not have any Adderall in my life. I have no interest in having it because I don't want to mess with it. If I can keep any man-made substance out of my body, I try to. I make an effort to. I fail, but I try.
You fail in the energy drink aspects.
I did come out for 6 months though.
Oh, okay.
I did really good. I cut out coffee and energy drinks.
Okay.
For 6 months, I only did matcha tea.
Okay, cool.
Just to prove I could do it. Now I've gotten in just because I've been cranking down some crazy work hours. I've been here since 6 a.m. by the way.
Yeah.
So I've been failing, but I can say I did put some self-discipline in. So the Adderall is honestly for people with those kind of issues. It's very similar to just taking like a bunch of caffeine at once. It does help you kind of focus. It's not performance enhancing. It's coming from the fight background.
Yeah.
We have real performance enhancing drug abusers. Everybody in fighting is dirty. You're constantly trying to crack out. I've seen people, I know people, I will not name names, but I know people taking all sorts of different kinds of stuff. I've seen people on that, I've seen what it does to their bodies. It's Adderall. Doesn't have much of a punch. And you just gave a guy a 4-year suspension. So what it is? So
but I hear my mom told me the article or something. He's been taking it ever since he was like a kid, like his doctor since he was a kid.
Yeah, he has a prescription.
So it's like he's not doing it illegally. And then when he sent the forms in, he was telling them, "Hey guys, I'm taking this to let you know." And then I don't know, they never responded. And all of a sudden, when they did, he's suspended. So that's kind of just a slap in the face, and it really sucks.
Here's the thing.
It's like he couldn't have sent it in, but he did the right thing by doing it, and it didn't turn out good for him.
Yeah, he put in his TUE, which is a therapeutical use exemption.
Okay.
He has submitted his forms, he just didn't do them properly, and they never told him until they busted him.
Yeah.
And
really
they gave him
sucks.
4 years. Here's my problem with that. First off, the 4-year rule is not... The people doing the testing is WADA, the World Anti-Doping Association. Now, they don't decide the terms. I've seen this in multiple articles, including Racer X, that it's a standard Olympic 4-year. That is BS. WADA does almost every other sport in the world. They do the Olympics, they do all... The Olympics is a 4-year, because the Olympics is on a 4-year cycle.
I heard that too.
But there's so many other sports that WADA does that are only 6 month, 12 month. There's all sorts of different... They'll work with almost any organization to set the different months. It's not a standard 4-year. You cannot go into an event and do super random drug testing where... How many races have you done as a pro?
Quite a few.
And you've never once been tested?
No.
Extremely random.
Well, because I feel like as Clayson, he's a privateer, but he gets good support, but he's not like a top guy. If he went from sucking to doing really good, you'd probably think, oh, let's drug test him. He's always been good. It's like, why drug test him? They only drug test him because he like sent in the files and they knew he was taking it. So
I don't know what, but they say it's random, which but it
was random after they got the files knowing that he's taking it, so then they randomly selecting him knowing he's taking it, and it's like, it really sucks.
It's like you're not on growth hormone or any of these other kind of things, you're on Adderall. That's just ridiculous. And if we're following Olympic rules, too much aspirin will make you piss hot. Like, so, I mean, you want to follow Olympic rules? Let's test everybody, and that's the other thing, like all these other sports, like fighting. If you want to fight in the UFC, every single fighter gets drug tested, and more than once. They do a pre-fight, before the fight random, and after the fight random. So every single person is drug tested multiple times for every event. Now, if you want to be fair, drug test everybody. Now, I know you can't. The AMA and the FIM can't afford that. So they need to come up with a better system, but I feel like the system they have in place is silly. It doesn't make sense. In a mandatory 4-year is so unheard of in almost every other sport, and all it is ruining riders' careers. That's my opinion.
Well, here, like I heard this a while back. Usually, for a privateer, 4 years. If say I want to get into it at 20, ride Supercross or Moto for 4 years, and then start adulthood to get a job. Yeah. Now, I don't know how old he is. I think he's Clayson's a little older than me, 23, 24. In 4 years, he's going to be done with racing. Yeah. You know, most likely, if you're not a top guy, you could continue it. But if you're like a privateer, after 4 years, even if you do want to get back into it, you're probably moving on with life, getting a real job. So it really ends his career. Yes, he can still ride Moto.
It ruined Stewart's career.
But he can still ride Moto. But that sucks. You have to take all the time. Everyone knows Supercross pays more. He was really good in Supercross.
But that means 4 years of no income from racing.
Yeah, so it could really ruin a guy's career, and it is stupid.
So my opinion is the FIM is the one who requires to use WADA. The FIM has set the 4-year rule. But I gotta stop for a second. The FIM has only been brought in for the past few years. Why do we need the FIM in AMA Supercross or AMA Motocross?
I really don't know much about it.
Other than we have the Canadian round, right? But why can't we can work with Canada to run our own rules, and we can kind of coordinate with Canada to run that one Supercross. Other than that, we don't need the FIM. I could literally have a 2-hour podcast on my opinions of the FIM and how they were hurting motocross.
I don't know much, so you'll be.
Have you ever watched like the World National, or what do they call it?
The GPs?
The MX. It would be the World MXGP is the proper name, right?
Yeah, like what Thomas Covington races.
Yeah. Okay, so they don't get full gates for 250 riders.
Oh no, they don't get full gates.
They don't get full gates.
No, it's like what 20-ish people, 25 people. Yeah, no, not full gates. That really does suck.
Yeah, so like, why are we taking tips from them? Why are we having them involved? I think they're messing it up. We need to get rid of the FIM. I'm sorry, you guys do very little right. I'm not saying the MXGPs aren't entertaining to watch, and it's not like they don't have good riders, but the rule set that they have, I think, is ridiculous. And we just ruined a privateer's career.
Mm-hmm. It does suck.
They ruined Stewart's career. I'm not a Stewart fan. I'm literally saying this publicly right now. But, like, I've never been the biggest James Stewart fan. But I respect his skill set.
Yeah, you have to.
I think his off-track demeanor has kind of gotten in trouble a few times.
Yeah.
Although, at times, he's also very entertaining, which I do appreciate someone who's entertaining. But whatever. That said, I'm not, like, Stewart's #1 fan.
Mm-hmm.
I was so behind him. I was making free James Stewart t-shirts when he got busted because, like, he got busted for Adderall that his doctor prescribed him because he was having some issues at home. And what has he done since he got back? Nothing. He's done. Mm-hmm. He did a couple races, he got hurt, he's done. And that literally ruined his career, took out 2-some years of his career racing.
It's momentum. Once you stop that momentum,
it's really hard to get back.
Like even with an injury, once you just get injured, you go back to square one, and then you lose the confidence, momentum. And for him, that whole year and a half was confidence, momentum. And when he got back, he got hurt. That just ruined more confidence, momentum. So just the whole incident with both of them really does suck.
And a few people have been commenting like, why don't they just drug test everybody? Here's another problem, which is we don't even have the time to go into, but do you know how much it costs to do a full WADA drug test? Like literally top to bottom, random drug test for like all performance enhancing drugs?
No.
Minimum $20,000 a person. Whoa. We couldn't drug test every Supercross.
No.
What's 20,000 times? How many people try from privateers up to make? Let's just the night show. Just the night show. How many we got?
Well,
20 mains.
Yeah, you go 40 for 250, right? And
Yeah, we're talking 80 riders.
About 80 overall. Yeah, 40, 80.
Times $20,000. You guys can do the math. You can see how much that drug testing costs. I think part of the problem is we're getting gouged for the drug testing.
Yeah.
But $20,000, and I've heard from some people to send the agents to fly to your house. You know, they do random where they show up at your house, which is what they do for fighting. They literally will like knock on your door at 6 a.m.
Dang.
That's $40,000. Whew. Because they have to have an agent and then like someone who's actually certified to draw blood and everything. Mm-hmm. $40,000 a drug test. So it's all messed up. It's just a bummer to see it. We're gonna move on. We don't need to stay on drugs this whole time, but you know, it's just a bummer to see. Mm-hmm. So,
it is.
Mason, moving past drugs, let's go into injuries. Mm-hmm. You're coming back. You're trying to come back from an injury right now.
I am coming back. I'm already back.
You're back?
Not on a bike back, but yeah. I had surgery on the shoulder in July, right after Tennessee National, and hoping I will get released December 4th. I had surgery in California, had therapy in California, and December 4th I'll go down, see my doctor, and when I last saw him, he says, when I see you next on December 4th, I will release you to ride like vet tracks, you know, like small tabletop, stuff like that. Okay. So I'll get back into it, and seeing how the strength comes along, how the speed comes along, and confidence and all that. Might do Supercross, might not. But I'm trying to push towards once I get on the bike around December, take some time off, recover, get completely 100% strong in the shoulder, get my strength in the whole body back, and go all out for 2018 Outdoor Nationals. Because I did all from Hangtown to Tennessee, which was a couple before Washougal. Really bummed once again to miss the local round 2 years in a row, but all the rounds leading up to Tennessee was a blast. It was an eye-opener, really tough, really fun. But so I plan on doing the whole series once again, and so I'm gonna take some time off maybe to just get some strength back, start riding in December, and hit the Outdoor Nationals in 18. So yeah, so I'm almost there.
So I just want to know, one of these days, are you going to do that Kamloops round with me?
Heck, man.
One day.
I was thinking about doing a couple. I remember last year I was just debating if I wanted to do all of 17 Canada rounds or all of 17 national rounds, and because they were just that much fun. It was really close. I didn't know what I was going to do, but I decided if I'm going to travel basically all the way east in Canada, I might as well do it in the U.S. because it's just a little bigger, it's a little funner, cooler tracks. I mean, you can't pass up Southwick, Redbud, even though I miss those, but Kamloops, I might do that in the older, when I'm older.
Well, okay. One of these days, I would like to race Kamloops with you.
Just come race some of the nationals.
I can't race nationals.
You
I don't have a pro card.
Dude, amateur days days are just as tough. I remember the amateur days.
I know. I've seen some of the people who race amateur days. There are some fast dudes who do it, but it's just a personal goal of mine to get back on it, to be able to throw down some motos, and to be able to actually sign up for Canadian National. I want it to be Kamloops.
Yeah.
Kamloops looks fun. It's not that far for us.
No.
And I want to say that I lined up with those boys and I was able to go race them. Not an amateur show or anything. I actually raced the show.
Okay. Yeah.
So
I understand that, but
I know, and you totally got your own thing going. It would be fun one day, though.
yeah, it will.
Maybe you race a different class,
I'm
so
retired.
you don't lap me.
No, yeah. Kamloops was fun, but racing the nationals was a blast. Racing Colorado.
That looks fun.
See, Colorado. I always grew up thinking super high elevation.
Mm-hmm.
All the bikes are slow, and it just is gonna suck.
Mm-hmm.
I go to Colorado. I remember me and my buddy. We first practice. We start side by side. We let all the fast guys go, and I started in second. He started in first because we wanted to like test because we were pitted right by each other. So like, hey, I'm gonna start in second. You start in first. Let's see how it goes. So I remember we start side by side. My dad like drops a rock, and I just bog out. I'm gone. I sit there while my buddy's like already at the corner. So don't start in second, Colorado. First gear on 250 at least. So the power was really different. I remember coming around a corner and it was like all these rollers and then a big double before you start heading up. You had to be like first gear, second gear, third, and then clutching like a 125 just to make the jumps. It was actually really fun. My pro circuit motor though, it held up. It was really nice. They helped me out a lot. So my bike wasn't as slow as I was expecting, but it still was interesting. I raced it Saturday, flew back to California, rode Milestone on Wednesday, and I rode the same bike. I rode not same bike, but same motor. I rode it Colorado to the next following Wednesday at Milestone, and I felt like I was on 500.
That's fine.
So
that
much power.
Difference.
Big difference. I started the bike, and in the pits I almost looped out because I was the last time I rode, I was in first gear, like clutching it. So I hop on the bike in California where I had no elevation basically, and the thing just picked up. Colorado was interesting. So were all the tracks. Just seeing the layout, the dirt, the weather, people. It was super fun. So the whole Outdoor Nationals is something I want to do, and you should do too because it's a little better than Canada, but it is farther.
I would like. I'm just trying to catch up on some of the comments. We'll see. Baby steps, one at a time. I also want to do Mammoth one day. I'm not looking forward to the parking.
I've never done Mammoth. I guess it's like our Top Gun.
Yeah.
But for Californians.
I've definitely done Top Gun with horrible success.
Yeah, but I don't know. I've seen Mammoth, and to me it looks like it's up, down, and then one-liners. Just go up a hill, come down a hill, rail the outside
It's
berm.
just to say I did it, and Loretta's doesn't seem fun at all. Mammoth seems a little more fun.
A lot of money.
I want a bear. I just want to say I have a bear. I could literally make my own bear.
You could make your own bear, but their bear is, is a cool bear. And also you could go up and you could mountain bike. You could, I guess it's in the summer, so is it in the summer? You can't snowboard.
Late spring.
Okay, so I know you can mountain bike. great view, cabins, but it's just so long. It's a whole week. Like, you have to be there, like, say...
It's not as bad as Loretta's.
Okay, but I feel like, I don't know, you have to, if you race, like, Thursday, you have to be, like, on a Monday.
I think it's 4 or 5 days.
Yeah, but is that true? Like, if your, like, vet class is on
whatever,
Thursday...
No. Whatever your class is, I think you can bust them out. I could be wrong. Guys, I already see some people here that have done now. Correct me.
Yeah,
but,
I've heard, like, if your class races on a Thursday or something, you have to be pitted and stuff or find your spot by, like, a Monday. So then you have to, like, wait that whole time.
It's super limited parking. Definitely not everyone gets a parking spot.
So, I don't know. I've seen...
But screw Loretta's.
Hey,
Let's go just take 2 weeks off of work, go in straight 110% humidity.
In Loretta's. Well, Loretta's
in the ruts.
It's I made it to Loretta's twice. I qualified, but I never went. My dad raced it and my sisters raced it, but I never raced it because the 2 years I qualified, 1 year I didn't go because Jesse got married. I think it was Jesse, so you gotta skip Loretta's for your sister's wedding, I guess.
Yeah,
another year, I got a broken wrist, but I went two separate years, I think, for my dad and Jesse, and it was one day was 1,000 degrees, the next day was super muddy, and then the day after that was 1,000 degrees again. So it was like every day there's a mud fest, every day it could be snowing, and then it could be 1,000 degrees.
Screw Loretta's. We're gonna literally just end on my opinion. Screw Loretta's. Moving on. Let's get. We could go on forever on this on events we would like to do or I have done. Let's go into some local stuff though. Get into some of the local section because we always talk about what went down last week. Unfortunately, we're at that weird time. There's not a lot of Northwest racing going on.
No.
Other than last week, there was I think it's their final round of Mag 7 at Johns Peak. I guess it was cold. It was foggy.
Where's that at?
It was a little slick. I know, down in Oregon.
Okay.
I've actually never ridden it. It's on my bucket list. I want to go. There's a ton of bucket list items though. Forget exactly where, but I saw the Johns Peak race went down. I saw pictures and I'm like, that looks cold. That looks not so fun.
If everyone's in a flannel, everyone breathes.
Yeah.
It's just foggy.
Yeah.
They all got the mitts and the gloves and like the old Clark County days. You get done riding, you go straight to your trailer, shut the door, turn the heater on, and you don't come out until it's your practice.
Well, so the Mag 7's an off-road race though, so it means an hour and a half out there.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
So you're just out of luck. You're cold.
You suck.
Yeah, you suck. You're cold.
Some people have like the oven like gloves, or not oven gloves. You know, like the gloves are like heat warmers.
Yes. Well, they make heated grips too.
Oh, I didn't know
They're
that.
hardcore winter off-road guys all
Dang.
throw on these heated grips. They first made them for snowmobiles, and then they're like, oh yeah, we can just throw them on motorbikes too.
Mm-hmm.
I've ridden with them. They only do so much though. I could have used something for myself because I went out instead of Johns Peak. I went out to the DTMX, which is the little sand Supercross, Arenacross type track that's right next to Horn Rapids. It's the same facility basically.
Right above basically the main track.
Yeah, it's like above it. It's different people running it. I went out there for the DTMX Cup. I think I got that right. I keep butchering stuff. The DTMX Cup, and it was cold. It was cold, and I'm sorry. I was announcing instead of riding. I really wish I would have brought my bike because I could have put in some practice laps. I failed. Brought my car. Didn't get a ride. I'm out there announcing. I announced all day. Way too cold.
Yeah.
Yeah, I believe it got under 20 degrees at one point.
No.
Way too cold. I'm freezing. The riders are probably nice and warm because there was some crazy racing in the pro classes. So, you know Colin Jern very well?
Yeah. Well, not very well. I know him.
I think he took out everybody.
Wow.
So, they ran it Monster Energy Cup style where there's 3 pro main events, 2 intermediate, 2 super mini. So, it's like pro, intermediate, super mini, pro, intermediate, super mini, pro.
Okay.
10-minute motos each.
Okay.
Plus 2. The super minis were struggling. There's a lot of crashes. But in the pro class, first moto, Jern, gone. Second moto, Jern, gone. Marty tried. Marty was given a good run.
I don't know who's that.
Brian, he's pretty new to the pro class, but he's...
Oh, Brian Marty?
Yeah.
Okay, I know the name of it.
Yeah.
I haven't been around.
Man, he was going good.
Mm-hmm.
He was, he was solid seconds. He wasn't keeping up with Jern, but But other than if Jordan wasn't there, he would easily won all the motos.
Okay.
So very solid seconds for him. But the third, there's a bit of crashes because it's kind of an aggressive arena crossy type design, but in sand.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, who's in it? Who's a dirty rider? You? I'm a dirty. Oh no, Jordan's a dirty rider. I was like, you calling me out again? Eric wants you cannot call me as a dirty rider. You cleaned me out. I was actually talking to Rainer Brigo about that Saturday, about how riding pit bikes.
You're dirty though. I remember riding pit bikes.
Eric is dirtier than me. Eric is this tall
I
and he cleaned
don't
me
know
out.
him though, but I've ridden with you on pit bikes and you're dirty. You're mean.
I'm competitive.
Well, competitive on
If
a
you're
pit
next,
bike.
here's the thing. I think I'm pretty nice. I try to get along with everybody. I honestly love almost everybody. But when my helmet goes on, I have to win. I don't care if we're playing Uno. I have to win.
Did you?
I'm competitive.
Did you ever race the? I remember Clark County Fairgrounds. I raced a pit bike race. Did you race it with me? I remember like 5 years
remember
ago
racing you on a pit bike
at a Clark County Fairgrounds. Back when they did that racing, you know, I did it like on 50s and 65s. But then I was like, I don't know, a middle teenager. Instead of racing the little kid class, I was like, I want to race my pit bike because they had a pit bike race.
Maybe.
And I remember racing with a lot of other older people on pit bikes, and I think you were there, and I got taken out a lot.
I don't think it was me.
Well,
But I have taken a few riders,
Yeah.
out here and there. I kind of took your dad out of Clark County Arenacross a few years back. I put him into the wall.
yeah, I remember riding my 110, just like, hey, because sometimes it wasn't fun riding a 250 at Clark County. Sometimes it was funner to ride a pit bike at Clark County.
Yeah.
And
Oh
so-
yeah. 110%.
Oh yeah, it was awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. A lot of it. Man, there was a lot of pit bike races back in the day. Eric, but I don't want to hear it because you cleaned me out, and I'm actually slightly proud of you because it was epic. Where was I going with it? Oh yeah, the DTMX.
Yeah.
So the final moto of the night, and Jurin crashes second corner. Just goes. It's fluffy. They're getting ruts.
First lap?
First lap. Yeah. Second corner, first lap. He goes down, and I'm like, oh no! And Marty's in the lead, and he's leaving everyone.
Mm-hmm.
Haberlock in third.
Okay.
And so Jaron has to get the bike up in the sand. He's like
Are
literally
these,
almost knee deep.
all
in the sand.
450s or just open?
Open.
Okay.
He
So
gets
he's
back
on
on the
450.
bike and he's last or second to last. And he gets going and he was on a tear. Literally, I feel sorry for anyone who is in his way. He just started throwing down. I mean, I was impressed. Like, I haven't seen Colin ride like that in a while. He was just, he wasn't going out of his way, but like if you were slightly next to him, he didn't care what line you were taking.
Yeah.
That was his line. He put a Brigo down.
Dang.
And they're homies. He put a Brigo down, caught up to Haberlock. Haberlock got the worst of it because Haberlock swept wide. Unfortunately, here was Collins' line on the inside that cut into his.
Wheel out.
I don't even think he looked at Haberlock.
Oh.
He didn't even look at him. He clipped his front tire and it took Haberlock out of the race. He flipped over the bars.
Oh.
And Jern was on a mission by the halfway point, which is 6 minutes.
Yeah.
He was in the lead.
Dang.
I'm like, you went from basically dead last on the ground trying to get your bike out of the sand, dusting your grips off, to in the lead. He passed 15 riders in 6 minutes.
Some of my best races, and I might have to speak for a lot of other people like Colin, are when you go down on the start. You go down on the start, you're so mad, you pick up the bike and you just charge. Or some of my best races. And I don't know, sometimes like my dad jokes about, why don't you just pretend to wreck on the first corner and have the same aggression the whole race? Because it seems like
that's totally what I do.
seems like if I get a good start, I ride I'm in first, yay. If I go down, I'm like really pissed off that I went down the first turn and everyone's gone. You seem to pass them all. Not all times, but it seems to be the case.
I've put in my best laps. I've done it a bunch this year, and I apologize to everyone I've raced against when I've done this, but I let everyone go off the start. Just let them go. Just
You
kinda
pretend to kill
I count
it.
to three. I count to three.
I think I've seen you at PR do that a couple times, or you've joked about
Dude,
it.
I get nervous for that first corner. I either whole shot or crash every time. And when I'm not feeling it, I know that's going to be my crash
Well,
line.
you remember it was Tennessee when I looked over at the camera?
Yes.
Because if you were on my point of view, I got I went down. I had to go to the LCQ, the consolation race, which always sucks, and they only take 4.
Mm-hmm.
And I was in like second or something, and I go down the last lap, and I pick it up, and I get fourth. I get the last spot, but I get 40th gate pick, and so all the way down I'm right here, and it's a left-hand turn, and my gate, you literally go past the gate, and then it's an immediate ditch. Just ditch is right there. It's one of those gates where the gate goes, and then you have to take a sharp left.
Yeah.
So you can't do anything. The right farthest gate and like 5 over, you basically just let the gate drop, stop, turn. So I see the cameraman. I'm just like, I'm gonna let everyone go because I'm gonna get a horrible start. But once the gate drops, I'm just gonna look at the work on TV, and I did. And then I watched the race later.
That was fun.
And the gate's about to drop. It's like I think it's the first moto, and I see myself, and I just look over, and then I have to hit my brakes because there's a ditch right there. But yeah, I've seen you stop a couple times on the start.
I replayed that like 5 times because like
I
that
screenshotted
Mason
it.
just staring at the camera as he's going. Okay, go back 10 seconds. There you go.
A lot of people wonder why I did it just for kicks, but if you saw my gate, it was literally I would have had to stop, turn, go, and so I made the best out of it. But yeah, I've seen you stop a couple times at PIR, or you've told me I'm gonna stop, let them go, and I've told my dad to do that a couple times too.
I put in some good action. Well, that's why I bumped up a class this year, is because I won 4 motos in a row doing that.
Oh gosh!
And like, I let them all go.
Yeah, sandbagger, you are.
You know what happened when I went against the big boys?
You got
crashed.
Well,
and I got ran over, and I missed, and it's basically almost the entire summer of racing because I now have a jacked up arm. That's what happens. Which I am back, and I'm riding. I'm not 100%, but I am riding, and I'm still very happy in my class. But it just
So did you go back to the sandbagging class, or did you stick with the class you got B with? Okay, that's good. That's good.
I'm sticking with the intermediates, even though 30 plus intermediate means half the riders are actually current pros.
Yeah. Yes.
I did race one time where the guy that beat me in the 30 class won the second moto of the pro class.
Wow.
So, yeah, the 30 plus intermediate class has got some fast dudes right now.
Mm-hmm.
No, I'm staying in that class, but I swear I ride better when I let everyone go because then there's no pressure, but I'm still slightly mad at myself.
I'm always
because
mad.
Everyone's in front of you. You see everyone in front of you, you're like, I gotta charge.
Yeah.
I don't know, it brings something out of you.
Yeah, same.
I'm not a sandbagger. See, now they're all jumping up. You're like a Reese. Reese calls me a sandbagger every time. I'm riding the highest class in my age group. Well, if I get fast enough, then I'll move to the pro class. But like, geez, I'm not a sandbagger. I don't win every moto. I'm not a sandbagger. Especially when I'm racing guys like JRVL.
Yeah. Yeah, he's fast.
He's pretty quick, and he has no problem taking me out.
Yeah,
We're buddies.
How old is he compared to you?
He's 37.
Oh, so you race the same class?
Yeah.
Oh, well, that sucks for you.
Sorry, JR. I don't know if I'm supposed to throw out your age, but yeah. But he will. Even though we're buddies, I know he'll take me out.
Yeah.
And then so the guys after race against us looks like him, Jason Gilcrease, Moto Mike Smith.
Okay.
James Hamilton, Joel Ard.
Yeah.
I had a race against Justin Homan earlier at Mountain View, former pro card holder and a part of the Metal Militia freestyle team.
Okay.
We actually, sketchiest moto of my life was Mountain View. The very last race at Mountain View, it started raining halfway through the day.
Okay.
So after the track's already set in, it's all clay based.
Yes.
You throw rain on top of it.
And it's just like ice skating.
He threw one of the sickest whips I've ever seen in my life. And I know he's Metal Militia dude. He can throw whips. He can do Superman CPRs and everything. So at first I was like, okay, now, because I parked him in the second corner.
Mm-hmm.
He caught me like a lap later. Like, dang it! I should have put him down.
Yeah.
Sorry, Jessica, if you're watching this, but I should have put him down. I didn't. I parked him. He caught up to me. He got around me. Right after he got around me, he hit a jump. He threw it so sideways. Okay, now you're showing off. And then I realized, oh no, he's dabbing his foot in the air. Oh, that was an accident.
Oh.
He slid out in the face, and he did one of the dab, and he started drifting. I'm like, oh, he's gonna miss the landing. He landed in the grass.
I remember a couple times at it might have been Mountain View, but I know at Riverdale, if it gets too hard pack or too just dry slick, when you go to scrub, your front wheel will slide before you know it, and yeah, dangerous to do that.
Throw some water on there, and you have sketchy conditions. Me and Holman raced all the way to the checkered flag because I was like, I gotta beat this guy. It was my first time racing him. I know who he was. I used to watch some old, like, I don't know, Krusty videos or stuff with him.
Mm-hmm.
It was like, it was cool to be racing with him, but dude, I gotta beat you.
Yeah.
I didn't. He just beat me, but that look in his eyes afterwards, you could tell like he didn't want to do another one of those motos. His eyes were like this big, and I know mine were just as big because you couldn't tell what could we jump or not jump. Everything was slick. He did one of those dabs several times. I hit a jump, and next thing you know, I'm at a 90-degree angle, and I did one of these fishtail death wobbles off the track. It was almost a blessing in disguise to get off the track because then it's all tilled and deep, and I'm fine. But the main track was nothing but hard pack, and it was so sketchy.
Yeah, that's crazy. I remember the last time I rode there was not this your last pro race. The race you did.
Okay, the Summer Classic?
Yeah, the Classic one. Because I didn't do that because I just had surgery.
Yeah.
I raced last year. And I remember this year it got pretty dusty quick, pretty hard pack. But the year before, I raced it, and so what? You held the race at 4 or 5 in the afternoon?
Yeah.
So when I raced it at 4 in the afternoon last year, it was perfect. So
it was also overcast.
See, that's what you get, but it was perfect racing the year before. It was
the year before
awesome.
was awesome conditions. This year, a little hotter, a little drier, some dry slick. Who was the guy who won it this year?
Bowers.
Thank you, Bowers. Talk about a surprise. I was like, what are you doing here?
Yeah.
I'm just going to take all my money.
Yeah. I was doing local races, I guess. I talked to him. He was just going to do some local races, just make some money here or there. And
you know, that happened at my very first pro race, though. Someone just showed up that I didn't know was going to show up, and his name was Weston Pike.
Oh, at Castle Rock?
Yeah.
I was like, gosh.
Oh, Weston's here. Oh, that's going to change
I remember
things.
watching that race at Castle Rock. He was one of those guys that destroyed people if you got in their way in like 5 laps, 2 laps.
He would just
put
lap. You up. Go over there. You're done.
Because I raced the amateur race, the intermediate race.
Yeah, you won the intermediate class.
And then I stayed and watched that race, and the start was so interesting because it was so short and so skinny.
And we had a $1,000 whole shot award.
So everyone wanted it. Everyone, and yeah, he destroyed everyone.
Mikey Corbin got it that year, but Weston definitely won.
And then that big booter you had was it an option lane or was it a booter? I feel like
triple, you had to hit to the left to hit the triple. Yeah, it was after the rollers.
It was just rollers, but
then
then was it an option lane? Or
yeah,
was
you
it
could
all?
hit it to the right and scrub the double, or hit it to the left. And it wasn't the hugest triple, full booter, but it was it kicked a bit.
Yeah.
If I hit it, I don't consider it a booter. I don't hit a true booter. I tried at Mountain View. They have a new booter. You might like it.
With like new or?
It's technically not on the track. It's an option off to the left.
I
it's what all the freestyle boys and Tommy Weed.
Well, I
and
liked
stuff
the one that we ran. You guys didn't run it this year. You ran
so we hit that backwards now.
Okay, because I remember we hit like. You came around the tree where the start comes,
yes,
and then you took like a right, left, and it was like a kind of a scrub booter, whatever you want to call it. It wasn't
like
kind
of floater.
Yeah, it was a floater. That jump was sick.
Well, we hit it backwards.
Okay.
And there's a steep booter before it.
Mm-hmm.
It boots you a lot higher.
Okay, and it's a drop.
Well, yeah, because then you drop because they scrubbed away the former step up, and now it's just straight down. So now you go up, and then it's just instantly right down.
Yeah.
I tried it once, like, we're done. You know what? I will stick to keeping my wheels on the ground. I don't like this at all. My heart was up here. I don't like it. We're done. Yeah, it was a bit much. I don't like it.
Yeah, no, I haven't seen that. I haven't. Last time I rode there was 2 years ago, so.
Yeah, it's really new. They only put it in at the very end of this year because they kept it going that other way.
Did they run for practice or just for fun?
The final practice of the year, the pro practices, they ran them over it.
Okay.
Which I went out for the pro intermediate practice, not knowing
that they're gonna run it.
Yeah, but they moved the lane over for the pro practice, and I'm like, oh wait, what is?
Oh,
No! I literally just stopped. I looked at the flagger. No, he's like, you have to hit it. Ah.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, I'm just making myself sound like a pansy here. We gotta wrap this up soon. Let's go on to what's coming up next week. You're hurt. You're probably not going to any of them, but we actually have options this week. We have Monroe Arenacross running, which sounds like a lot of fun. They've been having some pit bike classes.
Oh, they use races or practices? Great.
Races. I mostly just go over the races.
Okay.
Have you ever been to Pomeroy?
No, I've never been to Moto, Pomeroy. No.
Pomeroy is something I want to try. They don't run a lot of events, but Pomeroy is running.
Where's that at?
More Eastern. They run a lot of vintage.
Mm-hmm.
They don't run very many modern races, but I do believe the race they are running on Saturday will be open to all bikes.
Okay.
So of course Monroe Arenacross is going, and then Woodland Vintage on Saturday, and then a standard Woodland race on Sunday. I'm really sad I have not made it to a Woodland this year. I keep wanting to. Work has gotten in the way, and I'm running my own Riverdale series. It starts in 2 weeks. I've been really stressed trying to get all that together.
Yeah. Last time I rode Woodland, I got knocked out. So, good memory. It was one of those jumps where you're in a corner and you have your lip, but it was a pocket right on the lip. So it kind of went down and then up.
Gotcha.
You know?
Yeah.
So you just come around and you kind of gotta lean back, you go butt, and then you take off.
Mm-hmm.
I had a great idea. Instead of like going up, hitting the pothole, and then jumping, I was trying to like manual it.
Oh
so, like,
no.
So like pre-jump.
Try to
pre-jump the jump, you know? So go up, but try to jump and miss the pothole and the lip.
Yes. I
missed it the front wheel, not the rear, and just did over the bars. Woke up in my trailer, you know, concussion, no bloody nose.
We both had a few of those.
So I tried it, don't know why, I just came around the corner, I'm like, I don't want to hit this bump again, so I'm going to try to jump over it. And so that was the last time, that was like 3 years ago. It's been a long time.
Well, once you're healthy, if you're around and not racing Supercross or something, maybe we'll go out there and give it a shot.
Just throw some whips, have fun.
You're also going to have to come ride the new Riverdale track with me.
That looks fun. I was there last week with my dad. Those jumps are big. And
a little big.
I showed you the ruts, right? Just 5 laps in. I mean, it is new layout, so it needs to get packed in. Yeah, real fluffy. But 5 laps in, left to right on that, like massive, like just big double ruts, foot peg deep, left to right. It was amazing. As a pro, I love that. My dad hated it because he wants perfectly groomed track every lap.
Vet riders kind of like that.
Yeah, no, the ruts were amazing. I wanted to hop on his bike so bad and hit it, but that track looks sick. Needs some changes, but it'll turn out good.
Still getting dialed in. It's probably going to go through a lot of changes in the next like 4 to 6 weeks, but it's slowly getting there. Our first race is in a couple weeks, so I've been just like working overtime trying to get that all ready. It should be fun.
Mm-hmm.
So
cool.
I think that's all we really got coming up, unless you guys know something I'm totally missing. But that's what's coming up in Northwest Motocross. Eric Walsh, I am going to come out to one of the Monroes. I am bringing pit bikes. I am bringing a pit bike for Abrigo, and me and him are going to do some pit bike racing. He gets the 10-inch bike. I need a 12-inch just so I can actually try to keep up. Abrigo's a multi-time mini moto champion. Mm-hmm. As much as I'm a pit bike rider, I will admit Abrigo is probably going to smoke me.
Mm.
Eric, I don't know, you're getting old, bro. I think I got a chance now. So, Mason, anybody you'd like to thank? Any sponsors that get you here?
Yeah, not a ton.
Let's hear the list.
It's not a big list, but they've been through me a lot. Mainly Scott Russell, Motorsport Hillsborough. He's been the man. Hooked me up with the bikes and everything, and Pro Circuit helps me out with the motors. My mechanic Dave Dye and my trainer Randy. He helps me out a lot and gets me in shape. And then everyone that just sticks with me through all the injuries, they seem how to always support me, and it's been a blast. Parents still want me to do this, so I'm going to do it. But yeah, not a big list, but the people that help me, I really appreciate it, and it's mean a lot, so you do good work for me.
So, guys, everyone asking about the Christmas cards. I'll update you once we're done with the video. We have to do some shirtless Moto Monday Christmas cards because we raised $600 for the local tumor bank.
Like take off your shirt?
Yeah.
For a Christmas card?
Yeah.
Have to do it now?
We're not doing it now.
Oh,
We're doing it for
good.
the Christmas card.
Okay.
You and me are keeping our shirts on.
Okay, good.
We're keeping all our clothes on.
Yeah,
we don't
good.
strip on Moto Monday.
Oh, that's great.
That's not what Moto Monday is
I
about.
haven't been working out the abs lately.
Good man, yeah. So, Mason, how can we find or follow you on social media?
It's just Wharton767. Usually he's on Instagram.
Okay.
I got my Facebook page, just Mason Wharton, but I just kind of post whenever I post on Instagram to Facebook. So I'm mainly on Instagram.
Twitter, Snapchat, any of that?
I don't have
jazz?
a Twitter. I don't have Snapchat.
Okay, pretty basic, mostly an Instagram kind of guy.
I'm low key. If I probably didn't know Moto, I probably would have no social media. I'm not like a social media guy, but I gotta keep up with the sponsors, and Instagram seems to be the way to do that. So
Okay.
that Instagram is really where I'm at.
All right. So we can find you m.wharton767.
No, it's just M.
Oh,
Wharton.
M. Wharton. No,
M. Wharton 767.
M. Wharton 767.
I had to change the 76 to a 767 because I'm no longer 76.
Okay.
I want to get back to that number real soon, but.
So follow him on Instagram. You hopefully will start getting some friend requests, people following you. If you're watching this, technical difficulties, meaning this is not on the 110 Instagram or the 110 Facebook today. We almost didn't even have Moto Monday because up until an hour ago, I didn't have internet.
Dang.
Internet was down all day and just was come back spotty. Had to talk to my Comcast guy. It's been just a rough day, so I'm sorry. This will be on YouTube.